Procrastination. It's what we do. We don't understand it, and yet it controls our thoughts and our actions as it is all consuming. Procrastination causes us to stop being who we want to be, as it prevents us from becoming the individuals who we ought to be in this God-forsaken world. For those of you who do not yet know it, procrastination is the thoughts and the feelings that you have that enable your own self-neglect. Procrastination is what prevents you from achieving your own health, your well-being, and your success. Procrastination is defined as being the postponement of a decision that leads to positive action. Procrastination allows you to put off till tomorrow what you can do today. But in procrastinating, tomorrow never comes, as procrastination always meets you where you're at. So why do we procrastinate? That's the ultimate question. And this is one answer that has been given to us from an online article, and I'll post the link to that article in the description of this video. But according to this article, the reason why people procrastinate is because their drive to delay is irrationally stronger than their drive to act upon something. The reason why people procrastinate is confusing, and it is complicated. But clinicians determine that procrastination is driven by depression or some sort of behavioral dysfunction, ADHD, and low self-efficacy. Okay, that for me is a good start. However, I do believe that there is a deeper reason why we procrastinate. I believe that this has everything to do with trauma. Procrastination can be mild or severe. And I would like to share with you an alternative opinion about procrastination. I too procrastinate. I used to be a huge procrastinator. I put off what I wanted to do and it ended up doing what I didn't want to do, as procrastination was my biggest weakness and hindrance, and to slay that frickin' dragon, I needed to know why. When looking at the behaviors of a narcissist, well, they too procrastinate. They leave us in the dark with disappointment due to their own procrastination. And we seem to have no choice but to take upon the responsibility of the consequence to their procrastination. We have no choice but to accept what they do. And if we try to discuss with them why they're doing what they're doing, and we lovingly even offer them an alternative, what happens? They triangulate, project, and they go full Darvo effect on us, leaving us spinning our wheels, getting nowhere in the conversation to try to fix the problem. The narcissist avoids responsibility, and that's essentially what procrastination does. And the narcissist procrastinates because they are avoiding being controlled, ultimately, possibly. And they suffer procrastination in the same way that we all do. Oh, a narcissist can do for us and achieve great things in the world, but it's not for us and for other people. The reasons why they do things is purely for self-motivation. And when the narcissist sees no benefit in doing what they said they were going to do, well, we're left on our own. And you can see this self-destruction in other areas of their lives too. And I don't want to make this video all about the narcissist. I just want to bring to our attention some familiar patterns, because I think that we all can agree that procrastination is something that we all do. from filling out job applications to mowing the lawn, taking out the garbage, house repairs, picking the kids up from school, or even taking the dog to the vet. We all have our reasons why we procrastinate. And there is a reason why we all put off tomorrow what we can do today. And I would like to suggest to you that those of us who have been traumatized by narcissistic relationships, well, we've learned from the expert how to procrastinate. But it goes far deeper than just following the narcissist's lead. See, they have desperately tried to take away our belief in ourselves because the narcissist lacks an inherent self-belief in themselves to achieve greatness on their own. That's why they need them. That's why they need us. And that's why with the narcissist, it's all smoke and mirrors. I believe that procrastination is actually a symptom of cognitive dissonance. This is a mental conflict that occurs when your life doesn't line up with your actions. We want to do something and we know we must do something, but like apply for that job. But when we don't apply for that job, it's because we have an inner core self-doubt that says, you won't get the job, so don't even bother trying. And that's coming from we can't face rejection. So we convince ourselves of the answer before the answer is ever given. And procrastination contributes to our own suffering. It confirms that we are not worthy. Procrastination is a way we keep the cycle of abuse from the narcissist or trauma alive. No one else has to do anything. We can self-destruct all on our own through procrastination. We continue to do the damage of abuse all on our own through cognitive dissonance. Ouch. Who are we to know what other people are thinking? Who are we to know events ahead of time? Who are we to know the outcome of any situation? We can't. We can't know the outcome. So if we don't get that job, okay, then isn't it our responsibility to figure out the skills we need to get that job, or at least ask the interviewer, how can I do better? What skills are you actually looking for so that I can hone in on my skills? There's two rules in life. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. And if you don't advocate for you, no one will. There's one thing we and the narcissist, we've got in common: procrastination. However, the narcissist bleeds us dry of our self-esteem and those self-nurturing qualities that motivate us to push past the barriers of no. No, sorry, you're not good enough. Sorry, you're too thin, you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're too beautiful. You're too bossy, you're too pushy. You're too overqualified, you're underqualified. You're not strong enough, you're too ugly, your hair is too thin, you didn't make it through high school, sorry, you missed the opportunity, bud. You're too nerdy, you're too naive, you're too nice, you're too abrupt, you're too assertive. All these judgments we put on ourselves and each other are in the way. They're hindering our progress. And all these judgments, what they do is just end up labeling us as we assume for ourselves that we are these things, and we don't even have to try and prove these judgments wrong or even right. Now, I can't tell you the reasons why you procrastinate. I'm just giving an overgeneralization that will hopefully help you understand yourself. And for me, the reasons why we procrastinate lead us back to cognitive dissonance, the brainwashing. This ultimately is what needs to be overcome, not procrastination itself. As I mentioned earlier, I believe that procrastination is just a symptom of something bigger. Now, there is a 5-second rule to help you get over or overcome your procrastination. Now, this rule was coined by Mel Robbins, and I personally have used this for years as I used it to get out of bed one morning. Because for me, I'm a lingerer. I like to linger in my comfy, cozy covers in the morning. That's such a comforting feeling, right? Yeah. Well, let me just put it to you this way. I used to get out of bed in the morning, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. And you know, when you linger in bed after the alarm goes off and you tuck the covers in under your chin tight and you're just like, oh, this feels so good and nice and warm, and you accidentally fall back asleep, and 20 minutes later you suddenly find yourself jumping out of bed and racing through the house because you know you're going to be late for work. Yeah, this 5-second rule helps with even that, as it is an awesome way for breaking the habit as well as breaking other habits that need you to perform an action. And yes, procrastination is a habit. And to break this habit, you need to engage your brain. And according to Mel Robbins, this 5-second rule does that right quick. So I'm going to share with you Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, and then I would like to show you this rule with a bit of a twist, as I'm going to share with you a way to help you build your self-esteem while overcoming procrastination. Does this sound good? Okay, so Mel says that when you make a decision, for example, the moment you decide to get up in the morning or up off the couch, it is important to follow through with that decision within 5 seconds of making that decision. If you don't, your brain will obliterate the decision and you won't do anything about it. It's kind of like your brain just zaps the thought away with an alternative impulse and poof, it's gone. It's like it never existed. And then you sink back on the couch or snuggle back under your covers and just blissfully go back to sleep. But there is a trick to keeping that decision alive, and that is being mindful of the time between the thought and the active decision. Give yourself 5 seconds to wait. What you do is you count back from 5 the minute you make that decision, and when you reach to the second of 1, you act. You move, you get your butt out of bed, you get your behind off that couch. You will notice that your body will fight to go with the flow of the habitual behavior at first. But once you do this for a while, you will engage the body and brain before the 5-second rule is up. And this actually forms a new habit. And when you keep this habit going, you begin to fix your behaviors to have them set on autopilot. Sounds easy, right? Most of the time it is. However, there are times when your cognitive dissonance is so strong that you just can't get up or do what you want to do after the 5-second rule. Your cognitive dissonance is that dictating. And remember, it is defined as being the mental conflict that occurs when your beliefs don't line up with your actions. So it's important to study your beliefs and be mindful of those negative belief patterns you have about you that is stymieing your progress in life. Now, the abuse that many of us have endured dictate to us how valuable we truly are. And that's somewhere to start when taking a look at your self-esteem. And being aware of this pattern allows us to finally recognized that we were molded from the pattern of the abuser or the trauma's perspective, we were never given an opportunity to search out the meaning of our own perspective that we had about ourselves. When we were in abusive relationships, we were never given the opportunity to explore our strengths, our goals, as the abuser brainwashed us to believe that we are undeserving of anything good that this life has to offer. The brainwashing does damage, as it's like a parasitic leech feeding off of our low self-esteem, keeping us in a state of unworthiness. And this unworthiness lasts long after the abuser is gone or long after the trauma has taken place. For some of us, it is a monumental effort to just get out of bed in the morning. It takes all our strength to get showered and put on clean clothes. Sometimes it takes all we have just to pick up the phone and reach out to a friend to say hi. If this is hard for us to do, think of how hard it might be to get ready for that job interview or go online and fill out an application. Procrastination for some is not a big deal, but yet for others, it's an impenetrable stoic wall. So here's what a mild form of procrastination might look like. Say you don't want to get out of bed and get ready for work. So you turn the alarm off and you begin thinking of all the reasons why you hate your job, why you don't want to work, why you are not well received among your coworkers. And if you took the day off, you wouldn't be missed anyway. So what harm can it do? If you took the time to notice, you would see that while you are procrastinating, you are also negatively self-talking to yourself, giving yourself a negative pep talk. And that negative pep talk convinces you to linger in bed, stay in bed, and overstep the boundary you set for yourself, which was get up by 6 a.m. and hit the shower by 6:15. By you procrastinating, it creates an environment of negativity that reinforces the negative chatter in your head that convinces you to linger in bed in the first place. So let's just become aware of that, okay? Using Mel's 5-second method, you can alleviate the cognitive dissonance by counting back from 5, as she suggests. And instead of just counting back from 5 to 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, after saying every number, say something positive. 5, thank you. 4, thank you for the opportunity. 3, I'm alive. 2, I am well. 1, I am blessed. Then get up with a smile on your face. How easy was that? Well, how easy peasy it may be for you is all up to you, sugar lump. All you need is 5 seconds of your undivided attention to begin to make you your focus. After a week, let me know if this is actually working for you. Comment down below, like this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want more insight and motivational content to help you push past the barriers of trauma and narcissistic abuse. Please visit my sister site at ko-fi.com. A link for that will be posted in the description of this video. So thank you for watching, and go make your day great.